things down that were like my failed attempts at getting this working. I don't even know if this is working. Okay, so it says it's broadcasting, so.
It says live. I think we're good. Hello, world.
Yay. Hello. So I'm member Blake, and I make videos about writing. And why don't you introduce yourself, Audrey?
Hi, I'm Audrey. I also make videos about writing. I write mostly young adult speculative. So.
Ooh, very good. All right, I got my Scrivener up, and oh, I gotta get my tunes. Tunes going on. Oh my gosh, I'm still really tired. Oh, my beloved dog was like, oh, so you want to get up at 5? Let's get up at 5. I'm gonna just like wag my tail and lick you and lick my paws all morning. I got my Writer's Secret Brain Fuel dark chocolate. Like, yes. So what are you going to be working on today?
So trying to play catch up a little bit. Didn't get any words in yesterday. Yeah. So working on my main work in progress right now.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I had a pretty good day yesterday, so I'm a little bit ahead, but I want to like at least keep pace. If I were to go to, let's see, my so there's this tool called Track, and it's really awesome, and I highly recommend it. But it's really good for like scheduling. Oh, buttons. I have one of those like pull-out things, so like I couldn't see any of the functions. So I was trying to hit F5, and then I was like, I can't see what I'm doing, and I don't want to just willy-nilly hit stuff. So Track is awesome because like you can set a weight for the day. So like my pace is technically 1,000 words a day for camp, but I have days that I know I'm going to be taking off. So I set those so that I'm not going to be writing on those days. And then that helps me figure out, so like, because I'm not writing this weekend, my target for the day is, 1,200 words or 1,300 words instead of, so I'm not like only writing 1,000 and then I'm like, oh no, I'm behind because I, didn't do it or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, well, do you want to start this off with a quick sprint?
Sure.
Okay. This is just gonna get the old juices flowing. And then we might have other people joining later. I did send Marcus and I got a blank page an invite, but I don't know if they are. I know Marcus is not going to be here for a while. Let's see. Timer. Oh my gosh. Clearly I need more caffeine.
Cheers to that.
All right, how long do you want to do for the sprint?
I'm pretty new to sprinting. What is it, like a half hour?
So sprinting can be literally any time. It's basically just you set a timer and you just try to focus exclusively on what you're working on during that time. So usually like to start would like a 10-minute sprint would be good, because like you just want to kind of get it going, not focusing on like, is my writing really good? Is it really coherent? No, you just want to focus on like just getting some words on the paper.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do 10 minutes just to start and then see where we're at.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go. Oh. that's that.
All right.
Woo! All right. How'd you do?
Let me see. Got 321 words.
Wow, well done. I only got 211. I'm still trying to like figure out what I want to do for this scene. Because it's kind of a little bit of a turning point in her relationship with her teacher, because up until this point he's been really like go, 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 and then she finds out that he decided to like stop and take a break for her sake. And that's kind of like, you know, she's never had anything and anyone like be kind to her without another motive. So she's skeptical and like, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to set the scene up. But
Yeah.
sometimes that's what a 10-minute sprint is, just what you need, just figuring out what's going on.
Yeah. Did it help you?
Yeah,
Decide.
it did. My model for myself is the first 100 words are the hardest. If I can focus on getting those 100 words in, usually at that point I have a much better idea of like where the scene is going. And can actually like make it happen from there. So are you working on how do you usually like work? Like I usually don't want to stop until I've finished whatever scene I started for that day. Because I feel like I need to like wrap it up, because if I come back to it, I might like not know what I was doing.
See, I have to do the opposite, because if I end the scene, then when I come back, it's really hard for me to start a new scene. So if I'm in the middle of a scene, I'm just like, oh, okay, I know what to start writing. But
Gotcha.
if it's like, because then it feels like a blank page again. Like,
right.
Gotta think of all the things.
Right. I think it's interesting how everybody's a little bit different in like the way they like to get it done. I can definitely see the appeal of like, you know exactly where it's going. You've already started the scene and everything. It's so funny though, because like if I were to try to do that, I would just be like, what was I doing? I have to go back and like reread everything and make sure like, oh, I can't remember. I had something really clever yesterday that I was gonna say, and then I lost it, and struggle's real. Anyway, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July!
Yay!
No work.
Yeah. I think we're the only ones that we've been chatting in the Discord that are American. So It's surprising that the 2 Americans, well, actually it's not that surprising considering we would have today off because it's Independence Day. But yay, America. And yay, having days off.
Yeah.
So what do you usually do in your non-writing profession?
Oh, you mean what do I do for my day job?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I work at a small press doing production. So I help the book go from copy editing to finished book.
Oh, wow. So that's a really good way to get a lot of like good connections and.
Yeah, it's mostly a nonfiction press, so it's not. It's very different. Like, I'm editing indexes a lot and like italicizing commas and doing putsy stuff like that. But it's really fun.
Yeah. I have one of my best friends from grade school actually does exactly that. She does. I don't remember the name of the company she works for, but she does do like publishing work, but it's mostly nonfiction, kind of like what you've got going on. And so she and I have been, I and her sister have been writing since like the 6th grade together. So when she went into that, I was like, hey, you're gonna like hook a sister up? And she's like, yeah, like I would, but I can't. So But still, that's really interesting though, because it helps. If anything, it helps know like more about what really goes into publishing, and so like that will help prepare you for like, okay, well, it makes a great query letter, and like what do I look for when I'm doing my job, and maybe make sure like my work reflects that kind of stuff that would maybe set it above.
Yeah, and I send covers to authors, so I feel
Okay.
like I get to see the whole cover process and know
Oh.
like authors don't get that much say in it, to be honest.
Yes.
And I think I'm prepared for that. Like I have
I think
reasonable
that's
expectations.
yeah. I think the I think that whatever cover they would come up with would be better than whatever I could come up with. I
Yeah.
could probably come up with some like really basic thing, but most of the time when I see like what they come up with for other authors and other books, I'm like, wow, that looks really great. Or, they are experts. They do know like what is going to get a book sold off the shelf, and how to like capture. But yeah, do you want to do another sprint?
Sure.
Okay, let's maybe do this one for 20 minutes now that we've warmed up.
Yeah.
So, all right, 3, 2, 1, go. All done. Ooh, I did much better that time. I'm gonna just finish this sentence though.
How many words did you get?
Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I have to do some math. It's so my document is now 730 words, and I had 211 before, so somewhere over 500. So 519. That's pretty good. Better pace than last time. How did you do?
Got 646.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of dialogue, so I feel like
Dialogue is so good for getting your word count up. It's like I was talking to Marcus yesterday. I was like, it's the best because, and that's I think the only reason I was successful last NaNo, like for the in November, because I was writing a romance novel and there was tons of dialogue, so it was really easy to like.
Banter's the best.
Say what?
Banter's the best, especially for
romance.
I
know, and like you get free words because you have like he said, she asked. So like every time they speak, there's 2 free words, and dialogue's so good. That's actually part of the reason I did well. Was there was some dialogue in this particular section I was working on. So I thought I was wondering if you would be interested in doing something that I've done with people in the past when I'm doing sprints, and that is sharing just like a sentence from what you got in your sprint. There's no like expectation of like, oh, is this going to be like the best sentence ever? But maybe just a particular sentence, or maybe a couple sentences that you're, kind of pleased with how they turned out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Find something.
I gotta find what I was planning on sharing too. Let's see. Okay, I'll go first because I just have a quick sentence here. Nadine struck her steel against the flint over the coals, sparks flashing and dying like shooting stars. That's how you do flint and steel, right? You do the steel on the flint, right?
At least on Breath of the Wild, that's how it works.
Well, if it's in Breath of the Wild, then it must be true.
Yeah. Let's see. So this scene is between my main character and her mom, and they don't get along very well. And this sentence is, the sparse minimalist decor seemed to repel her very being.
I love it.
She's very likes collecting knickknacks and things, and she's like traveled really far to see her, so she takes her to this fancy coffee shop that she knows she wouldn't like.
So, is it the mom or the daughter that collects the knickknacks?
The mom.
Okay, I was gonna say because in my personal life experience, my mom is the one that collects the knickknacks. I'm the one that prefers the kind of more minimalist decor. That being said, you would not know it looking at my house. I mean, just look at this. It's not very minimalist at all. All right. Well, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling ready to go. Getting some writing done, and the scene's going pretty good.
Me too.
You want to do some more writing?
I could probably do one more sprint before I have to go.
Oh, we got a friend. We got a friend. We got a friend coming in.
Oh my gosh.
Hi.
Hi, you're so cute. Oh.
Hi. She just popped in at the door over there, and I had the door shut, and she was like, oh, I'm coming in. This is my writing buddy. This is more. All right. Actually, let me quickly just tweet what we're doing here. So we can see if anybody else wants to come join us in chat or something. How do I tweet this? How do I do it?
Isn't Google Hangouts ending soon too?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh no!
So I'm like
Like
wondering how it'll work after that.
why would they end it?
I don't know.
It seems like
Google,
a really... Well, then again, I also don't exactly understand why they're ending iTunes, so clearly I just
Oh,
don't
I
know
didn't know about
anything.
that.
Yeah, they're gonna be stopping, they're gonna be shutting down iTunes. I do not know like how that all works. But that is quite disappointing to me. Let's see. All right, let me just quickly tweet this out. Alrighty. Okay, let's get another thing going on here.
All right.
Oh, I lost my clock. All right, do you want to do another 20 minutes? Or do you want to do less? Okay, we'll do 20 minutes. Here we go. Start. Yay! We did it. Let's see what I got here.
Yay!
Woo! I think I did slightly less than last time. Just to confirm. So part of that is, I think, because I deleted a sentence or two. 467. Not bad.
You see? $433.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I think definitely, are you getting close to the end of your scene?
I got to the end and then I had to start a new one. I was like, I hate starting scenes.
I've had a feeling, based on what we talked about earlier, that maybe that's what happened. Yeah, I kind of got to this point where I was like, how do I want the characters to like handle this situation? Because basically her teacher's like, well, we're gonna have a resting day, and she's like, we've never had a resting day. Like, I thought we had no time. I thought that was why we never rested. We just like kept going. And then, he's like, well, rest is important. We should probably take a rest. And so that's when she says what I'm going to share from my little sentence, which is, it's actually a couple sentences. She says, since you were nice enough to allow me a day to rest, what should I be doing? She said. Without orders, I don't know what to do with myself, she thought. Hussein laughed. Resting. You should be resting. But what do the other apprentices do when they rest? Nadine said resting is very important, and if I have only one day, I want to do it right.
I love that.
So,
Yeah.
feeling
Okay.
pretty good. I'm actually just barely behind what Right Track says I should get for the day. I think I'm only like 50 words behind or something. So
Yeah, I got in. I'm surprised at how
yeah,
many
you
I got
got in
in.
a ton of words.
Yeah, it's really great after like yesterday when I like tried to write and got in like 20 words.
Everybody has days like that. It's pretty common, I would say. You're gonna be vaulting ahead. I think you wrote more today than you have this entire month so
Yeah.
far. You might have written more in one sprint than you have. Maybe sprinting is something that we need to do more often if we're going to be productive, because I basically just got all the work I needed done in 1 hour.
Yeah. No, this was great.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me. I know you said you had other things you got to get done today. So I hope we can, we should definitely aim to do this a lot more during this month, because this was really productive and super fun.
Yeah.
Did you want to share anything from what you wrote in your last sprint?
Sure. So her mom asks if she's found a good psychologist. She has my main character has PTSD, and she say, I shrugged. Ghost dispersing didn't exactly come with benefits.
I love that. So is she like a ghost hunter then?
Mm-hmm.
So that's always a fun thing to have as a character. I always get intimidated by having characters that have things like PSTD, or oh my gosh, PTSD. Just because like I don't know enough about it. Like I feel like I'd have to do a lot of research on like, symptoms and how people are
Yeah.
affected by it and stuff, and like, but at the same time I do think it's really important to have characters that have those, issues and stuff, because they're not exactly well represented in fiction. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
I'm
sweet
definitely
though.
going to get some sensitivity readers when I'm a little further along. So
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that part. Just because like, as much as I try to frame the world that my characters are in, it is like a, this is the way it is, but it's bad, like this is not a good thing. It is still kind of like, I don't want to, it is kind of a not so great world that they live in.
yeah.
So anyway, well, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Yeah, have a good rest of your 4th of July.
You too.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.